All right, folks, welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. And we are about to be joined as we get him on the line by Charles Hurt. And very interesting. I want folks to hear cut 19 because this is a very interesting story. And I believe it was NBC, if I'm not mistaken, that ran this story. Yeah, Tuesday's Today Show on NBC. National investigative correspondent Michael Isikoff turning really the exploits of two left-wing activists who broke into the FBI and stole documents back in 1971. I want you to listen to the glorification of these two criminals by NBC. Here's cut 19.
Burglars broke into this FBI office outside Philadelphia in March 1971 and stole 1,000 secret documents. The culprits never found.
We did it. Somebody had to do it.
And now a surprise confession.
We just took all the files. We didn't sort anything.
In an exclusive NBC News interview, the burglars, anti-Vietnam War activists, admit they committed the crime to expose what they believed were illegal activities by the FBI.
Massive illegal surveillance and intimidation.
The documents exposed FBI efforts to spread paranoia among left-wing groups and COINTELPRO, a surveillance program started years earlier by then-director J. Edgar Hoover. The Rains are proud of what they did and have a message for a man they see as their modern-day counterpart, Edward Snowden.
From one whistleblower to another whistleblower. Hi.
Hi. Hey, by the way, you got a joint? Hi. It's nauseating. And a great column today by Charles Hurt at the Washington Times, The Dangerous Paranoid Radicals of Another Day. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
I got to tell you, you were so right on the money, and really nobody has picked up on this, as far as writing about it or making it an issue. They just blinked and nodded and yawned if they even saw that piece on the Today Show. But it's outrageous that these people are now glorified and they're heroes. And what's going to happen to them? I mean, now they're admitting to a crime. Are they going to be prosecuted, or are they going to be Obama going to give them a Congressional Medal of Honor?
Well, of course, they waited until the statute of limitations ran out before they, before they admitted to anything. But the thing that amazes me about it is that interview you just played right there, where, as you say, they're just slobbering all over them, just where they're slobbering all over Edward Snowden. Yet, when the Tea Party comes forward with a lot of the exact same motivations and talking about the exact same things and questioning the federal government, and it becomes clear that the IRS has had a concerted effort to intimidate these people based on their political beliefs. What happens to those people? They get trashed in the media. They get smeared by the press, and they don't get a single fair story by people like the folks at NBC News. And it just amazes me at the double standard. Somebody said the other day about them, if they didn't have a double standard, they wouldn't have any standards at all.
It reminds me of something I once heard somebody say: if I didn't have any bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But no, you're absolutely right. And it's what came to mind immediately for me was, and it's probably apples and oranges, but there is some similarity, is when Robert Redford was pushing this movie on the Weather Underground that he produced or whatever, and he was asked about it by George Stephanopoulos, and he said he supported them. And Stephanopoulos said the violence and all. He said everything. And I'm like, whoa! And nobody batted an eye.
Yeah, it's almost like, and this is what troubles me, and I don't mean this as somebody who, with any political persuasion whatsoever. It's just that in America today, the political system is so broken. The political conversation is so shattered and kind of turned rancid that people aren't being held to account for the things that they say. And it's like that whole era of relativism where there was no truth, so you couldn't really say anything, and nobody, you just stop arguing at some point. And I feel like we've reached that today, where it's like in the media, you just pick a team and you get behind that team and you don't ever have a real, genuine conversation about any of it, and we're not gonna. It's not gonna get fixed until it gets better. And if you want to know the result of that kind of non-conversation, where it's like this delusional thing where no one is actually saying anything truthful, well, the result is you wind up with a president named Barack Obama who no longer believes the Constitution applies to him. It passes, laws are passed, and then he changes them without any input from Congress. And it's just like, oh, well, look, he did it again for whatever it was, the 17th time. He's changed the health law. This is illegal. It's a violation of the Constitution. But because we're in this la-la world where, it's just no one is having an honest conversation, it just kind of floats on down the river with all the rest of the putrid detritus.
I like that. We're talking to Charles Hurt here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Read his great piece today at WashingtonTimes.com and read all his pieces at WashingtonTimes.com. All right, we just have the remarks or the reaction from Governor Christie. I guess it was a statement he issued. He canceled an event today. We had the revelation of the emails with this George Washington Bridge scandal, Bridgegate, if you will, where his top chief of staff, or one of the top three people in his office, wrote an email to the Port Authority appointee of Christie, who has since resigned, in advance of the closure of the lanes leading to the GW Bridge, saying time to mess up some traffic in Fort Lee. And, they had a grand old time writing about it. And now Christie says, I'm shocked. I was misled. This is the first time I've seen these. He's outraged. We had Bill Kristol just before you say that this is going to do real damage to Christie no matter how it plays out. And Paul Molshine, who's no fan of Christie and is, in my opinion, way to the left, he was on with us. He writes for the Star-Ledger, and he said that they could even impeach Christie over this.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, it's obviously like bombshell. I think, and those emails. I mean, who commits this stuff to writing, even if it's an email? I mean, why would you? I mean, it's so stupid.
It is stupid.
It's just mind-blowing. But I do kind of think it's sort of interesting that we have this wonderful dogged reporting and shocked and outraged reporting of this. It just seems like whenever it's a Republican candidate in a Republican primary, it's so easy to find that bombshell smoking gun and tie it around the guy's neck. But when it's a Democratic primary, we never come across these things as neatly tied up with a bow as you do.
Well, right. And I said, look, and I'm no fan of Christie now for various reasons, but I said, while this is a serious breach of public trust where, ambulances and first responders, if this was done on purpose, they were tied up, on purpose, and they referenced school kids and buses in these emails that would be delayed. And, this is outrageous. I said, and it could have been cost lives. I said, but. And I think it's serious. But on the other hand, you got Obama and the administration and Hillary and the State Department and the IRS and all those scandals, and not one single person has been held responsible.
Yeah, no, it's so true. What we see here with the Christie thing is thuggy sort of politics that you expect out of a union boss or something like that, and it's. And I agree with you that it's terrible, it's awful, horrible politics. But it is just the yawning double standard between the way a guy like this is. I mean, this broke at 9:46 this morning, and you already have the guy canceling events, reeling backwards. People have been canned. Statements are being made and everything. Whereas, like you say, you have these other things, and I would argue, they're far more serious and they're far more lasting.
Yeah.
And you just don't have that kind of, the country would be a lot better off if the press were this doggedly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, the press will tell you those are old news and there's no scandals. Charles, always great. Hey, Happy New Year to you and your family. And to
you.
Thank you. And we look forward to speaking to you next week, sir.
Great, Steve. Thanks.
Take care. Charles Hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Read him at the Washington Times, WashingtonTimes.com. When we come back, we'll be joined by Congressman Louis Gohmert. It's been almost 2 months since I sat down with him at Restoration Weekend down in Palm Beach. I missed the guy, Texas Congressman. He'll join us, and then my friend Jared Max, and we'll talk some sports. Hall of Fame inductees, playoffs in the NFL. How about expanding the NFL playoffs to 2 more teams? Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.